Hello, Roland Warren here. As I reflect on the Advent season, God gave me an insight about Christ's birth that is truly relevant to CareNet's work. I believe it's really a compelling vision of where we need to be heading in the future to make sure that babies that are saved from abortion don't just have life, but have abundant life as God desires. So let me start by asking you a question. What's the most famous unplanned pregnancy you know? Wait for it. Well, it's the birth of Jesus, right? You see, from Mary's perspective, this birth was unplanned. She had a different plan for her life. She had hopes and dreams that didn't include an immaculate conception. And when the angel came to give her the news, no doubt she had significant fears. Like, how am I going to take care of this baby? What will my family say? How can I tell my father? And what about Joseph? It's really scary stuff. And Mary's fears really resonated with me. My wife, Yvette, and I had an unplanned pregnancy, and you can watch our story on the link below. You see, there's not really a lot that's changed in 2,000 years in this regard. Yvette had lots of the same fears, but despite these fears and concerns, Mary chose life. She said to the angel, "Let it be unto me as you have said." Now, in the pro-life movement, we love to tell the story of Mary, but too often we end the story here. However, this is really the beginning of the story. You see, God didn't give Mary a social worker and a check, right? He sent an angel, not a smurf or a gnome, to see Joseph. You see, in a sense, Joseph was like an abortion-minded man. He had other plans and hopes and dreams that didn't include a baby now. So he planned to divorce Mary quietly. Since you couldn't visit an abortion clinic back then, he had to put the mother and the baby away. But the angel gave Joseph a mission and a call. In God's design, there's always been a role for men in unplanned pregnancy. The angel told him to be a husband to Mary and a father to the child growing inside of her. And Joseph, challenged to be a righteous man, also replied, "Let it be unto me as you have said." You see, the Holy Family was holy family, a father and mother united in marriage as a husband and wife. Now this raises an interesting point. Why did God make sure that Mary had a husband and Jesus had a father? Let's take Mary. The biblical prophecy said that Jesus was to be born of a virgin, but it didn't say born of a married virgin. You see, Mary and Joseph were essentially married in their culture. Theirs was not an engagement like ours today. That's why Joseph's only way out was to divorce Mary. And here's the thing. God does not violate his principles to accomplish his purposes. Sure, Jesus could have been born to a single mother and been fatherless. It would have accomplished God's purpose. But this would have violated God's principle. You see, his desire is for every child, including the Christ child, to come into the world with a married father and mother who love each other and will love the child. Why? Because he wants what's best for them. This is abundant life. And how do we know this? Because he made sure that Jesus was born into a family like this. Now, I know that this is not always possible. But remember, this is God's high idea, like loving those who hate you. We need to strive for the high idea, even when it's difficult, like in some unplanned pregnancy situations. We must share the truth with compassion, even though folks may reject it. That's what love is, truth and compassion in balance. Let's face it, everything that happened in Jesus' life, the way he was born, washing his disciples' feet, his death, all of this was an example for us. You see, God knew that the people that he had created would face unplanned pregnancies, and he used his son's birth to model for us what his desire is. He wants us, even when it's unpopular, to seek to create families like the one that Jesus had. And even when this doesn't happen, God wants us to help children from unplanned pregnancies understand the link between marriage and parenting so that they won't end up facing unplanned pregnancies themselves. So I hope that you'll think about the Mary and Joseph story differently because, as the late radio broadcaster Paul Harvey used to say, now you know the rest of the story. Blessings to you.